this thing. I have to put my glasses on. Y'all, it's stressful. Can we talk about it? Stressful. Great morning, great morning, great morning, great people. How are y'all doing this morning? I hope you're having a fantastic and an amazing morning. Before I even give this intro, let me tell y'all right now. Y'all, I woke up. Y'all see my lip? Big lip people in the building. You can let me give you a close up. Do you see my lip? I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm gonna do the intro. I'm gonna do the intro. Don't come for me and my lip, cause I woke up and this is what my lip looked like. And I was mad, and I ain't even gonna be mad. I was mad enough that I said I'm gonna get up here and do this live, big lip and all. So don't come for me, y'all. I have no idea what happened with my lip. My lip is on swole right now. But I'm going to be here because my lip, I don't know if it's allergies. I don't know what it is. Don't come for me in my big lip this morning. Okay. Okay. Let me get back to the intro. I don't know what it is. I'm going to do this live anyway. Great morning. Great morning. Great morning. Great people. Welcome to Spirit U, y'all. Welcome to Spirit U. I am your professor in spirit, Touche Germain. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you're feeling good. If you new to Spirit U, welcome. We are so happy and so grateful that you are here. You know what to do, Ski Come in, like the live, share the love, drop something in the chat that you're grateful for. Let's get in the flow of abundance. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Great morning, Miss Kiki. Good morning, Kiki. Great. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are feeling good. Y'all, I real deal woke up and this is what my lip looked like. So I'm just praying it don't get no worse than this, but it is what a TI is because I was determined to come up here and give this word. I think the enemy thought I was going to be too vain to come up and do this. And mind y'all, I don't have allergies. I don't suffer from food allergies, nothing. And so I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, my lip feels weird. And so sure enough, y'all, my lip is actually really swollen, but try to Google it. And of course, it's probably just some kind of allergic reaction. What I'm allergic to, I ain't got a clue. But regardless, it made me feel like I guess the enemy thought that I wasn't gonna get up and go live. I'm not that vain, y'all. Ain't. So I was determined to get up and do this message. And so here we is. So I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you're feeling good. I have a lot to share with y'all to what the Lord will allow me to share today. There have been a lot of changes. I know the time is I think of maybe about an hour later than what I normally am. Yeah, about an hour later than what I normally am, but it's been a busy couple of days. Oh, wait a minute, I can't see my comments over here. I've been busy, okay. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I receive it. Prayers received in return. Y'all, I got some spirituality to tell y'all. I got some confirmationals to tell y'all. But I wrote this. I want you to drop this in the chat. God chose me, right? God chose me. And so one of the things that made me get up, I'm really tired, y'all, like for real, for real. And I'm gonna tell y'all part of why I'm tired, because the Lord is allowing me to release it. But I'm tired because I have been on the move. So God is choosing you in this season. So we've been talking about you. It's up to you whether or not, good morning, Pam, good morning, whether or not you're going to choose God. And so many of us have already made that choice to where we're going to choose God and do what he's asking us to do, right? So I got some stuff to tell y'all. We're going to finish up in Genesis 9 today. I do want to get Genesis 9 done because it's crazy because it kind of corresponds with what I was studying yesterday. I had some chance, even though I was on the move, I did have time to spend some time with the Lord, and it's crazy because again, I hadn't looked at this, y'all. And so what I was studying in the book of Matthew yesterday was the wheat and the tares. And so the fact that we're getting ready to start Noah off with, and y'all, I do not have my favorite adult beverage. I got so much to share with y'all. I'm so grateful. Can we just true story give God the glory real quick? I'm so grateful that the Lord allows me to share this journey with y'all because people wouldn't believe that your faith walk would look like this if I wasn't, if you know what I'm saying? Like y'all just ain't even finna believe how good God is. Like Y'all, it's blowing my mind how good God is right now. But I'm going to tell y'all to the degree that I can tell y'all about it. So, because I prayed and asked him what I can release. And part of me being able to tell this story is just being able to be transparent in the things that God is doing in my life. And so he's going to allow me to share some of those things with y'all. So, but the reason I'm also saying this is because in Genesis, where we're picking up in Genesis, y'all, we're finishing out the book. We're going to finish Genesis 9. Then I'm gonna give y'all the spirituality because that's the real tea on what the Lord is transforming in my own life and hopefully in yours as well. Because he really is doing a new thing, but it's not always easy to choose this. It's not always easy to just say, okay, Lord, this is what it is. This is what I'm going to do. But we'll get to that part in a second. All we do is let's get to it. Noah. So Noah comes to himself, right? So we just got done talking about how Noah had got drunk and he fell asleep. We know what his sons did. So then Noah wakes up. Come on, wake up. Drop it in the chat. I'm woke. Noah comes to himself. He awoke from his wine. Sleep cured him. And we may suppose so cured him that he never relapsed into sin again. So there's something, man, come on, God. There are some things that you do that you ain't never gonna do again, y'all. There are some sins, and it's crazy because I said this yesterday as part of my own transition. There's some things that you do that you know that you will never do again. You can mess up your life, you can make the wrong decisions. There are some things that you know you will never do again. You will allow yourself to do those things because you know how much it affected you, how much it changed your life, right? And so this is Noah. Um, he never relapsed into that sin again. So there's some things we'll never repeat. Those that sleep as Noah did should awake as he did, not seeking it again. I had a moment when in prayer yesterday where I was just telling the Lord, thank you. For the things that I did that made me ashamed, but also that He has removed my shame for things that I've done as well. Things that put me in situations that I didn't necessarily want to be in. Hey, Ma, good morning. Love you. Spirit of prophecy comes upon him, and like dying Jacob, he tells his sons what shall befall them. So, because we know that the sons, two of them did right by him, but one of them did not. He pronounces a curse on Canaan, the son of Ham, in whom Ham is himself cursed. The curse was a servant. He's going to be a servant of servants. The meanest and most despicable servant shall be eaten about, shall he be, even to his brethren. So he was cursed with being in service to his brothers. God often visits the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, especially when the children inherit the father's wicked dispositions and imitate their wicked practices and do nothing to cut them off. So this is talking about generational curses, y'all, which we know are a real thing. Generational curses until you break the chain. There are things that have been passed down to you that you are responsible for breaking in your family, right? And if you don't do it, then it's going to fall to one of your children. And so this really happens, y'all, especially if they're predisposed to it. There's some things like, you know, as an example, like right as it stands, like my children are not predisposed to like drinking, let's say that. So that was something that was broken, even though that was something that was almost hereditary. There are some things that are hereditary, they're passed down, certain diseases and things, message, but other things are patterns and habits that we pick up. And if they turn out, come on, God, if they are already predisposed to that, then they will do the same thing. So this is why we have to come on, Spirit. We have to make sure that we're being good examples to our children, y'all. I'm so grateful that the Lord in my latter years has allowed me to be a more positive role model and example to my children than I was in my previous years. And so just know that, y'all, like you really are the curse breaker. And understand this, y'all, it's not easy to break things that have been on family lines for generations and generations and generations. It's why so many of us are struggling with, like being the poverty chain breakers and the financial difficulties. Good morning, Jared. Good morning. Thank you so much, dearest one. Love you. So just know that, like, it's not easy, y'all. Don't ever let anybody try to trick you or make you feel like breaking these curses is easy. Ain't okay. It's not. It takes a lot, and that's why there are people before you who weren't able to do it. There may be, if you don't do it, there may be people after you that aren't able to do it. But drop it in the chat. It stops with me. Okay, it stops with me. Disgrace is justly put upon that on those that put disgrace on others, especially that dishonor and grieve their own parents. An undutiful child that mocks at his parents is no more worthy to be called a son, but it deserves to be made a hired servant. So, unfortunately, you got to understand that there are times when even your children can do things that aren't necessarily. Look, I feel like I'm going to start sweating. Even your children can do things that are not always, you know what I'm saying? They're people too. And so they have their moments where they're going to react and respond a certain way, especially, when they get grown. If you got grown children, then it's going to come a point in time where they're going to start smelling themselves, right? They gonna think they know everything. So check this out, y'all. So the day before yesterday, me and my son and my daughter were riding somewhere, and my son randomly, we periodically have these conversations, and so he was like, Mama, you remember, now look, don't come for me, okay? Now my son is a grown man now, but he was like, Mama, you remember you whooped me with a AUX cord, like an aux cord? I was like, yeah, but what'd you do? And he was like, I stole a ball out of Big Lots. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I remember. And so we were having this discussion, and he was talking about different things that he had got a whooping for. And so, me being a single parent, I was the mama and the daddy. I had to be the disciplinarian. Okay. But I said to my son the other day, I said, well, son, I said it just like this. I said, I'm sorry if I hurt you. I said, but I'm not sorry that I did it. I said, because you have grown up to be a respectful man. You ain't never been in trouble. You ain't the police ain't on your neck. You ain't never been to jail. Ain't never have no problems with you. I said, so I asked him the question. I said, do you think that because of the discipline I gave you, that you turned out better or worse? And he was like, better. I said, so I understand. I was like, I said, I don't know how many people, especially black folks, ain't got a my mama whooped me story. I got whooped with an extension cord. Love you, girl, but you told my off in a cuss word. It's not a cuss word for real, but you did. You had you had told, but you remember, and I had stuck the toilet paper down in my I had stuck the toilet paper in them cross color shorts because you was going. Well, maybe I did lie about it, but what that got to do with anything? Why? First of all, I was talking about the extension cord whooping and the toilet paper I had to stick down in my drawers and in my pants to try to keep it. It didn't work. Anyway, I'm back. So uh everybody got a whooping story. But I'm grateful because he recognizes that um look, I love that's a conversation that every grown child has asked their parents. Child, I did. I'm so grateful that he recognizes that I did it. Yes, and I'm not gonna say that I didn't go to the extreme. I'm not gonna say that I didn't whoop him till he wasn't bleeding. There wasn't no marks or nothing like that. And I ain't never like physically hit my children, but I whooped them now, and I whooped two of them for stealing because that's one thing I don't. There ain't no play about that. And so I told him, I was like, ask your sister. I said she got whooping too. I said she got whooped for stealing too, and I whooped her, and I put her on punishment so she couldn't go to Texas that summer. So anyway, with all that being said, I said, but look how you turned out though. I said you don't like the discipline, and you have stories of it, and and it's traumatic and it's triggering. I said, but look how you turned out. Look at how you haven't been in trouble. Look at how you finished high school with no children. Look at how you've never been in trouble with the police. Look at how I ain't never had to, get into it with nobody mama about my son. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying because you grew up with respect, you grew up with manners. So understand that your children ain't always going to understand why you did the things that you did, whether it's discipline or whether it's just the way that you had to live your life or even raise them up. And we talked about this in detail the other day, but you did the best you could, right? And we talked about that when I was live the other day for whoever needed that part of the message. Like, listen, we do the very best we can. It doesn't mean that we always do the right things, but we did the best that we can. And when my son, as an example, turned out to be an outstanding young man, I ain't mad about now whooping that he got anyway. Though divine curses operate slowly, yet first or last they will take effect. The Canaanites were under a curse of slavery, yet for a great while had the dominion, as with a family, people or person, under the curse of God, yet may long prosper in the world till the measure of their iniquity be full. So the Lord was talking to me about this. How sometimes, you know, how you see like people who seem like they're doing everything right or everything wrong, seem like they always getting the benefits. Um, just know that their judgment is going to come. And that's the same thing for us as well, y'all. Judgment is going to come. So then, of course, he gives a blessing to Shem and Japheth. He blesses God for Shem so that it entitles him to the greatest honor imaginable. He calls him the God of Shem. And thrice happy is the people whose God is the Lord of. How blessed and favored are the people in such circumstances. When you blessed by God, y'all, you know it, and everybody else knows it as well. And that's what's happening for many of you right now, is that people are going to know, just because of the things that are happening in your life, the way that God is moving in your life, that you are truly blessed by God, like there truly is favor on your life. I call this handpicked. And divinely selected. And I'm going to tell you why, because for many of you, not even realizing, God really has chosen you for a very specific assignment. And I will tell y'all, part of the reason this came to me this morning is because I was sleepy this morning, because I've been on the move. I was sleepy this morning and I wanted to lay down longer. But in that moment, I heard the Lord say, but this is the preparation for what's next. So I literally was like, let me get up, because God has chosen you for an assignment and he's placing you into that assignment. And so as you're moving, as you're doing whatever it is that the Lord calls you to do, realize that what he's doing now, even right now, with whatever it is, he's preparing you for that thing that he's going to step you into. I could have stayed in the bed because I'm tired, but I was like, well, what if this is proving to the Lord that as he's giving me this new assignment, that I'm going to be able to handle it? Does that make sense? And it gave me just a different perspective. It made me get up and be like, let me get to work, because you can't you if you can't handle, let's say, I can tell y'all because I'm gonna tell y'all about a second. If you can't handle travel and then having to get up and do the work, then how can the Lord bless you with the work? Does that make sense? We'll get back to travel in a second, because y'all know I've been moving around and traveling different locations. So if you can't, so it's like you have to be able to demonstrate to the Lord that you can do this assignment. And yeah, sometimes it's going to be a push to have to do it, but maybe you have to travel, maybe you have to move around, whatever it is, you still have to be willing to show up. And we talked about that the other day as well, right? All blessings are included in this. This was the blessing conferred on Abraham and his seed. The God of heaven was not ashamed to be called their God. um, he gives to God the glory of that good work. When Shem had done what Shem had done, and instead of blessing and praising the instrument, he blesses and praises God that was the author. Um, Shem is sufficiently recompensed for his respect by this, that the Lord himself puts this honor upon him to be his glory. So we know that the Messiah, Lord Jesus, descended from Shem, right? He descended from Shem. So this is why he was blessed in a multitude of ways, because this is where the line that the Lord descended from. He foresees and foretells that God's gracious dealings with Shem and his family would be an evidence to all the world that he was the God of Shem. Blessed be the Lord, God of Shem. So for many of you, not only are you going to be blessed in this season, but your family is going to be blessed as well. This is the importance of showing up and doing what God has asked you to do, because there are people who are attached. And I think we hear this all the time. There are people whose blessings are attached to you. So you have to make sure that you are showing up and doing what you have to do, because you may be the one who's blessed, but people are going to receive because you receive. He blesses Japhet, in him the isles of the Gentiles. So here we see, y'all, this is literally where we get the Jews and the Gentiles from. So this is the beginning, or this part of the beginning of these two lines, the Jews and the Gentiles. The line of Shem being the Jews, the line of Japhet being the Gentiles. Does that make sense? So this is, but of course we know Gentiles being in service, because of course Japhet is going to be and dwell in the tents of Shem, his outward prosperity, that his seed should be so numerous. So we know there are far more Gentiles than there are Jews. So understanding that that's where those two sects came from, that separation came from. Um, Outward prosperity is no fallible mark of the true church. The tents of Shem are not always the tents of the conqueror. So this is speaking to, just because people live in big houses and have riches and splendor and all that, that doesn't necessarily make them rich, y'all. It's about being rich in the spirit, and then that is what truly makes somebody rich, which is why we don't chase the worldly things. We don't chase the riches. I have the number 1226 written here again, but we went over that the other day, so I think I covered that. um, this is denoting the conversion of the Gentiles and the bringing of them into the church. God shall persuade Japhet, he shall dwell in the tents of Shem. That is, Jews and Gentiles shall be united together in the gospel fold, which is the whole point of what the gospel is about, uniting everybody. Because God is not just for one people, his goal was always to be for everybody, right? It is God only that can bring those again into the church who have separated themselves from it. It is the power of God that makes the gospel effectual to salvation. Souls are brought into the church not by force, by persuasion. I talked about this, I think, what's today, y'all? Today is Thursday. I talked about this on Tuesday. You cannot make everybody believe in the Lord. You cannot make everybody believe that God is real. You have to choose it. Good morning, Chris Curls. Good morning. You have to choose God, right? So for some of you, there's getting ready to be a season where the Lord is going to tell you to stop trying to force people and allow your life to speak for the goodness of God. Does that make sense? Allow the things that God is doing to convert people, because it's going to happen, because people are going to see what God is doing in your life and they're going to be like, OMG, that's how you got the blessing. And the way that the Lord I don't know why this just popped into my spirituals. It's like, how do I do? Well, I'll talk about. I'm gonna say that it's like understanding. Okay, no, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna do it this way. So the Lord is showing me an example of persuasion, right? I come on here and we talk about the Bible first, right? We do our Bible study first, and then we use the cards. This is the Lord is giving. I don't even know why he's giving this example right now, but he said what he said. It's like people don't understand. Like people will come in to see the gift of using the cards and the magic and all of that, but not understanding that the word is what gives the magic. Does that make sense? So it's like you can't make people sit and listen to this part of the word and get understanding of the word. They just want the what is it? What's the word that y'all just said? The results of the word, but not understanding that this part is actually what gives those results. It's kind of like that. It's why a lot of people, why you will be able to come on God, be a demonstration to people and make them understand. It's because you are actually getting this part, but other people will have to be converted by the signs, the wonders, and the miracles. Does that make sense? So you can't persuade people to believe in God. Some people will never want to sit and learn God like this for themselves. Other people, for those of us who understand that this is where the true magic actually happens, um, that's why you're the one who's blessed. And they will, even if people receive a blessing because of you, they won't be as blessed as you. Anyway, okay, what's next? It is only God. I just talked about that. So God doesn't force, but he does persuade. And for many of you, the things that you're getting ready, that people are getting ready to see, are going to be a demonstration of the blessings that the Lord is going to give you. Japhet has the blessing of the earth beneath God, beneath the earth beneath. God shall enlarge Japhet, enlarge his seed, enlarge his border, including everywhere, Europe, Asia, perhaps America, all of that. God is to be acknowledged in all our enlargements. It is he that enlarges the coast, enlarges the heart. And again, many dwell in large tents that do not dwell in God's tents, and that's where he's. I hope that put that together. Many people dwell on the earth, but that don't mean that you necessarily dwelling with God. Even if you say you know God, that don't necessarily mean that God knows you. Does that? And I don't. God knows all of us, but it's like there are levels to this, y'all. And there are some people. It's like the kingdom. There are some people who come so close to it, but they never quite get there. And we hear that a lot in the New Testament. There are people who come close but never enter, because there are certain things that you can go to church, you can do all the right things, but is your life actually a reflection of the word of God? And if it's not, then those are people who sometimes fall short of the kingdom. I told the Lord the other day, true story, because I have real conversations with the Lord. I say, Daddy, sometimes, like I was reading something in Matthew 13, And I was like, man, Daddy, I was like, I started just thinking about the things that I've sacrificed and some of the things you have to do to pick up your cross and follow the Lord, and some of the things even in the New Testament. And I was like, Daddy, I was like, sometimes it's a little, seems like it's a little hard, to be in the kingdom, but also understanding that kingdom life requires a different level of determination and discipline. And just like, living in the royal family, if you, we don't have it here, I think it's what, England or over there somewhere, but you have to live a certain way. Just like I would say I've heard Michelle Obama, and shout out Michelle and Barack, talk about this. Like, you have to live a certain way, you have to present a certain way. So it's kind of just like that. And so that was the comparison that the Lord gave. He was just like, listen, in order to have the levels that we want, that we aspire to, and actually be fruitful in the kingdom, it requires something. And many people only want to go so far with God. So guess what? He's only going to bless them and give them so much of himself. Shem has the blessing of heaven above. He shall. So Japhet has the earth, the promise. And I think I used, what was the example that I used the other day? It was like Lot chose the world, but Abraham chose the kingdom. And so it's kind of the same thing here. Japhet had the world, but Shem had the kingdom. Shem has the blessing of heaven above. He shall. He that God is, he shall, that is God shall dwell in the tents of Shem. From his loins Christ shall come. So this, of course, him again being the having the birth of Christ, his lineage be come through him. The birthright was divided between Shem and Japhet, Ham being utterly discarded, and Canaan a servant to both. The double portion is given to Japhet, whom God shall enlarge, but the priesthood is given to Shem, for God shall dwell in the tents of Shem. It is better to dwell in tents with God than in palaces without him. I don't want to be anywhere that God is not. They both have dominion over Canaan. And then God prolonged the life of Noah 950 years, 20 more than Adam, but 19 less than Methuselah. And he continued a preacher of righteousness, preaching only to his children. The end. Okay, the end. So y'all get y'all favorite adult beverage. I don't have any. I got to drink some tap water. Don't be judging me. I got some stuff to tell y'all. So the Lord is allowing me to share this because y'all need to know the significance of how the Lord is transitioning me and moving me forward. Lord, that's so good. I hadn't had nothing to drink since yesterday. SpiritualiTEA time. So let me show y'all. Drop this in the chat. Crossover. This is a time of crossover. Okay. Let me I'm gonna have to put my glasses on, I think. No, I'm not going. This is a time of crossing over, y'all. So let me pick up with y'all where we left off on Tuesday. I did not go live yesterday, so let me tell y'all what has transpired from Tuesday to now. So if you were on the live yet the other day, let me get some cards. I don't have a lot of space, y'all, and my cards are packed up. So let me share some things with y'all. So if you were on the live Tuesday, y'all know I was at the Airbnb. And I had no idea where I was going after I left the Airbnb. So cool. So I end up taking the Airbnb. So on the live, let me go back. On the live, I ended up, so first let me give gratitude because I want to thank each, my God. So on the live, y'all know I didn't have a single dime to my name. Not a dime, y'all. And as we were on the live, I told y'all that. And there are some of you who blessed me on Tuesday. And so first, I just want to give you gratitude and tell you thank you so very, very, very much. You have no idea how instrumental you were. And I'm going to try not to cry, but y'all know I'm a big old baby. How instrumental you were in helping me to do the next thing that God asked me to do. So first of all, I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. You have no idea, but I'm going to share exactly what happened with y'all. So I get off the live, but before I say that, while we were on the live, y'all, there were planes flying overhead. And I don't know if y'all remember me saying that, but 2 different times the planes just got real loud. And so I don't even remember who said it, but somebody was like, so we getting on a plane. Now, I had an idea, man, so now I can kind of backtrack a little bit. Man, well, I can tell so much. So we heard these planes on the live, and hey, grandma, um, we heard these planes on the live, and somebody in the chat said we getting on a plane. I was like, okay. So I get off the live, and within the hour, I would say, because I was leaving, checking out the Airbnb at 10:30. That's what time the lift was coming. And so I was like, I'm getting on a plane. So the Lord told me where I was going, y'all. He told me where I was going. And he had been telling me for about a week. So I had an idea of where he was sending me. But I was like, how I'm gonna get there. Now this was the day before. I was like, how I'm gonna get there. And so sure enough, after y'all blessed me, I was looking I was on, looking for the flight, could not find the flight. And all of a sudden I heard the Lord speak something very clearly to me. He said, look at cheap flights to here. So I did. And so I ended up finding a flight, y'all, for $200. This was on Tuesday. So I was like, okay. So he said, book it. So I did book the flight. So I'm like, okay, Lord. So mind y'all, remember, I just told y'all that I was taking an Uber to nowhere because I didn't know where I was going. This was Tuesday. So I'm like, well, my flight wasn't until yesterday morning at 7:15. Okay. So I was like, well, let me call my daughter and see if I can just hang at her house until it's time for me to go. So of course she said yes. So I end up taking the Uber to my car. Then so I get there, I grabbed a couple of things, but I was like, I'm gonna have to come back to the car because I was by myself, and I have at this point, like I have my stuff, my suitcase and my book bag. I was like, I'm gonna have to come back. So I end up taking another Uber to my daughter's job. So this is one of these moments, y'all, where sometimes the Lord will come on, God, where sometimes the Lord will give you an instruction and it takes a little effort. Drop this in the chat, push, right? And this time when I mean push, yes, it's pray until something happens, but this is push. Sometimes it's going to take all your strength and all your might and all your fight to just keep going. And so I had to push. So I took an Uber there, got to there. Then I ended up having to take another Uber to my daughter's job. I get to her job. I was able to pick up her car. And so now I'm like, okay, so now I'm gonna stay with my daughter until it's time to go. So I'm like, okay, cool. So this gave me time to spend time with my children, right? Now, mind y'all know it's only been a week, almost 2 weeks since my son graduated. So now the Lord's like, it's time to go. So let me tell y'all that the Lord has ejected me out of California. I am not currently in California. I left yesterday. For some of you, there's going to be a here today, gone tomorrow kind of event that's going to happen for you. But there's going to be one step that's necessary. It's going to be the catalyst. And for me, it was when the Lord told me, the call of Abram, I want you to go get this room, and you ain't gonna know where you're going next, but I'm going to unfold things for you as things develop. And so I was like, okay, Lord. So I stayed with my children that night, hung out with them. We went into the Rose Garden, hung out, had a beautiful day with them. Boom, they dropped me off at the airport that morning about 5 o'clock, or yesterday morning about 5 o'clock. So get to the airport, you have to check luggage. And so I had a carry-on, I had my book bag, and y'all, I had to literally condense. So I ended up going back and getting some more stuff out of my car. And when I got to the car, y'all, I had this moment where I looked at the car, and it reminded me of the ark with Noah, because the car was, first of all, because when I had to leave the car, I just had to grab some stuff, right? And this was when it first broke down. I just had to grab some stuff and whatever I could, and just try to throw some stuff in my suitcase. So the car looked a mess. It's dirty. Like, you could just, and when I looked at that car, y'all, I knew right then that I would never see it again. And so I ended up grabbing the stuff that, the stuff that I needed. And I looked at it. I thanked it. I thanked the car for its service, and, for the help and for the housing and everything that it was for me for this time that I've had this car. But come on, God, when I looked at that car, y'all, it made me understand. And the Lord started speaking to me in that moment. And I talked about it on Tuesday, where there are environments that are no longer in alignment with you. There are environments that are no longer in alignment with your energy. So for some of you, the Lord is getting ready to eject you out of something that no longer fits you. When He says that you're in the kingdom, your life has to reflect the kingdom life. Do you understand? If you are praying and asking the Lord, if you know that you are a child of God, if you know that you're in the kingdom, drop it in the chat. I'm in the kingdom. If you know that you're in the kingdom, then you should be asking, telling God, like, Daddy, this is not a reflection of what kingdom life looks like, and message. And at once that affliction that He put you under has served its purpose, as the car did for me, I'm like, okay, Daddy, now that I've learned my lesson, I want my life to reflect a life that is in service to you, that is a kingdom life, that is not that. Y'all, I looked at that. I looked at the car, and I'm so grateful. But when I tell you that I was begging for the Lord to give me this car back, and in that moment, when I saw that car picking up that stuff on Tuesday, I was like, thank you, Lord, for not giving me what I thought I wanted. Because when I saw my car, it just made me understand it's very lived in. Like, it's very, you can tell it wasn't like dirty, like filthy, but you can just tell that I had been living in this car. And so I was just like, man, I was like, thank you, Lord. So I released it with love, gratitude, and kept it moving. So moving forward, so now I'm at the airport. So I literally have had to condense my life down even further. I already didn't have a lot of stuff, right? So now I have to condense my life down to one suitcase. So this particular set, I have two sets of the same luggage. And so I ended up having to donate a lot of stuff. I left it at my daughter's house to donate it. Some of it new stuff, just, stuff that I wasn't wearing, because I really had only been living out of one suitcase anyway. And so end up donating a lot of stuff, and got my everything down to one suitcase. Get to the airport, y'all, and the lady tells me my suitcase is overweight. So I'm like, okay. So, but let me tell you how God worked, because then, even though my suitcase was overweight, they ended up checking my carry-on bag for free. So when she told me it was overweight, I literally had to take some stuff, come on shift. I literally had to take some stuff out of my suitcase and put it into my carry-on, and was still able to make everything work. So that worked out to where um, I was able to still take everything that I had. So then God starts talking to me, because now, I go through security, everything's good with that. I'm finally sitting down. So the Lord starts talking to me, and that's where I'm going to tell y'all how he started making me realize stuff. And this is why I dropped this in the chat. He's putting me in position. So he had me to start looking up my flight numbers yesterday while I was sitting and waiting on the plane. So the first flight, one of the flight numbers was flight 373. I looked up the number 373, and it means rest, refresh, take rest, give rest, take ease. So I was like, wow. So send me to a couple of scriptures, Matthew 11 and 28, which I had just talked about the other day, which talks about, come to me, all of you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest, right? And I had just talked about this the other day. So I was just like, wow, Lord, okay. And so my first flight number was flight 373. I'm like, okay, because I had a connecting flight. And so I was like, okay, Lord. So for many of you, the reason that all of this is happening for you is because things are getting ready to be easier for you. He's trying to give you rest. And it's going to take a little extra effort. You're going to have to push a little bit in order to get to that next stage. But the Lord is trying to give you rest. Then my next flight was 3678. I looked this up, and it means throne, properly covered, a throne, a seat, and a stool. For many of you, this is the time where the Lord is putting you in position. He's giving you your seat at the table that He has prepared in the presence of your enemies. He is seating you in heavenly, come on, God, in heavenly places. Like, this is why this last part of your journey, or this part of your journey, has felt so tiring. It's been heavy. You've had to release so much. It feels like, everything crumbled, but it's because He's finally telling you that you're getting ready to rest and take your seat. Do you understand? And again, just the way that the Lord put all this together for me, and I'm gonna give y'all one more after this, which is something that it'd be crazy the way the Lord worked. So for many of you, yeah, you're gonna have to push a little bit, like make it shake, get up, do it. I know it's hard. I'm trying to, y'all should have seen, y'all, my backpack by itself probably weighed 50 pounds. I'm lugging 2 suitcases. My arms are so sore right now. This is why also this is physically, right? Remember, y'all, I was going to the gym every day. Every day I was walking about 3 miles, y'all. Every time I go to the gym, so I was lifting weights, and the Lord said, walk, because this is the importance of taking care of your body physically, because sometimes you're going to have to do something and your body going to have to be able to handle the weight. You're going to have to be able to move with the Lord. So if the Lord has been telling you, you need to exercise, you need to make sure that taking walks, strengthening yourself, there's importance in that. Because I know for a fact, y'all, if the Lord hadn't sent me, as much as I was like, oh, I'm so grateful for, being able to shut out Planet Fitness, to go to Planet Fitness, because that's how I took my shower. The other part of that, y'all, was I was actually in the gym conditioning, because I had to tote luggage around. I'm carrying suitcases everywhere. So think it not strange when the Lord starts preparing you for something long before He steps you into something. Do you understand? So if the Lord is telling you to, like, get your physical health up, please do that. Eat better, things like that, because you're going to need strength for where He's taking you. So the next part of that is Him talking about He's getting ready to sit you in the throne that He has created for you. The thing that He's trying to, and then on the flip side of that, when He seats you, that means it's coming with rest with it. Some of you are getting ready to be put in a position where you're going to be delegating as well, where you have had to do everything by yourself. The Lord is getting ready to lift you up to the fact where you're getting ready to have people. You still gonna have to do the work, but the work that you're going to have to do is different, because He's scaling you up in your business. So you're going to be delegating tasks. Come on, God, delegating tasks to people, because what you are going to be required to do, you're not going to be able to require to do all of the small things. So He's saying this for whoever, somebody, you may have a business, you're getting ready to start hiring people, you're getting ready to start scaling your business and actually having employees. This is why you have to, come on, Spirit, you have to be a good steward with the little. When the Lord trusts you with the little things, He has to make sure that you're going to be a good person. You're going to be good to the people that are going to be working under you, the people He's sending in to help you. Because if you can't manage that well, then how can He bless you with more? So that's for somebody. He's getting ready to scale somebody in their business. So with 3678, He ended up sending me to Genesis 41:40, and 2 Samuel 3:10. To translate the kingdom from the house of Saul and to set up the throne of David over Israel. Remember, over the past couple of weeks, y'all, we've been talking about how there's a shift that's happening. There's like a mantle transfer. So many of you are stepping into your David season. And I think I don't remember the message, but we had the David card, the justice card the other day. And I was like, so some of you, there's something that has been stripped from one person, and this could be spiritually, but this could also be like somebody getting demoted and you being promoted. Come on, promotion. you being promoted and put into position. But remember that David started out back there tending the sheep, y'all. When Samuel anointed him, he didn't immediately step into kingship. He had to wait. He had to go through trials and tribulations and struggles, and he was about to die. Saul trying to kill him. Like, he had to go through all of these things before he was actually put in position. So for many of you, you've gone through those things, and so now you're stepping into a David season. He shall build a house for my name and will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. So that happened. So then the next thing he said was, he's handpicked you for this assignment. You've been divinely selected. At 13:52, this was on Tuesday. The Psalm 32:8 was on my phone. The next part of this. So yesterday morning, I posted the scripture, James 1:17, y'all. James 1:17. That was the scripture that the Lord led me to post yesterday. And so let me just tell y'all how the Lord got jokes. So James 1:17 says, every good thing given and every perfect gift is from above. It comes down from the Father of lights, the creator and sustainer of the heavens, in whom there is no variation. There's no rising or setting or shadow cast by his turning, for he is perfect and never changes. So check this out, y'all. So yesterday, I end up, so I like I said, it was kind of a fiasco, but I finally get to, I'm sitting, I get on the plane. As I'm getting on the plane, I'm scared of my boarding pass. They called my name. I'm telling you, the Lord is calling somebody's name. It's your turn. And I'm telling y'all these little minor details. Oh, I got to tell y'all about the luggage. So now let me back up. So I'm at the counter. The lady tells me that my bag's overweight by 6 pounds. Cool. You got to shift some stuff over. So I'm like, okay. So she said, go stand over to the side and just put some stuff in there. I'm like, okay, bet. So now I'm like throwing stuff in, trying to just make, get things together. As I'm walking to go and shift the stuff, y'all, my book bag, which I didn't realize was open, everything falls out of it all over the floor. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I pick all that stuff up, throw all the stuff in the book bag, get everything situated, go back, everything's good, boom. They take the luggage. So fast forward, checking onto the plane, and I'm literally scanning my boarding pass. And at the moment that I'm scanning my boarding pass, they're calling me. And like the man next to, like at the counter was called. There were two people there. And the man next to me was calling me and calling my name. And I was like, that's me. And he was like, oh, are you traveling alone? And I was like, yeah. And so he was like, do you want to switch? Now, let me tell y'all this. My original seat was 19E. He was like, would you mind switching from 19E to 24B? 24B was an exit. 24B was an exit row seat. But he was like, but you have a lot more leg room sitting there. So where I was sitting, and I've never flown American Airlines until yesterday. So guess where I was sitting, like the restroom was right there. So I didn't have a table, which I kind of would have wanted because would have been journaling. But he switches me from 19. Hear me, y'all know 19 for me is the sun card. That's Jesus, right? And even now, the Lord is giving me further revelation on this. So he switches me from 19E to 24B. 2424 is also Jesus. Do y'all realize? Well, you don't know this, but I'm going to tell y'all. So, but when he gave me the place I would have been in the middle, kind of cramped in. American Airlines is pretty, shout out American Airlines, but now he put me in a place where I had more room. I was able to grow. I'm able to expand. So I need you to understand that this is what the Lord is doing for you right now in your life, y'all. That these things it looks like inconveniences. It looks like things that, are going to may trigger you like, man, I got to go do something else. I got to do something else. But this is the Lord getting ready to put you in a place where you can grow, expand, elevate, where you're going to have room. I oftentimes use look at the refining. Come on, God. I oftentimes use y'all. I don't even have the normal decks that I use because they're still packed up in my suitcase. But these are the ones that I could get to. So these are the ones we're using today. And this happens to be a word in the wilderness. So But I'm going to read this in a second. So for many of you, I oftentimes use the analogy of like a plant, right? Where when you hit, it's like being root bound. You can be in a place in an environment for too long, and oh, this is good. You can be in a place too long and you don't have room to grow. So for many of you, what's happening is the Lord is transitioning you out of environments where you can no longer grow. And he's putting you into places where you have freedom, where you can stretch your legs, where you can actually grow and go to the next level that he's taking you to. So even if you're having to suffer through some things, even if you're having to, go through some, it's like, man, these little last minute things, what's actually happening is he's putting you in position to grow, because you can't grow anymore where you are. So boom. So now he puts me in this different spot. Now here's the significance of 117. So I posted the James 1 and 17 card yesterday morning, 4 a.m., like my normal time, right? So y'all, where I'm sitting, God got jokes. He got jokes. Yeah, because it was, but I was just saying. So now I'm on the exit row, y'all, and there's no windows. Now I love a window seat. Okay. I love a window seat. But here there's no windows. And in that moment, so there's only like two little on each side, two little round windows about this big, y'all. No cap, about this big. So I was like, that's funny, Lord. I was like, so you admit don't look back at all. Drop this in the chat. Don't look back. Like Lot's wife, don't look back. When the Lord sends you into this new place, y'all, don't that he might make it to where you can't look back. So it wasn't even like, I couldn't even look out the window and say, bye, San Diego. It's been real, none of that. Because the Lord put me in a position where, number one, I couldn't see anything, message. And number two, the only thing that I could see, y'all. So the other part of that is, so he put me where I couldn't look out the window. I couldn't see anything around me either. Do you understand? He had me in a position where I just had to trust that exactly where he had me is exactly where he wanted me. Does this make sense? So all I can see are these little windows, right? So I'm looking out this window over here. Couldn't even see anything for real, but I'm just looking out this little over to the right, the little window, the little porthole window, right? Y'all, I kid you not. I'm just looking, and didn't even know why I was looking over there, because I can't see anything. And the only thing that I saw was the number 117 on this little sign. And it went by so fast that I was just like, ain't no way. And it was literally the Lord telling me, confirming that I had made the right move, y'all, because that was the last thing that I saw leaving San Diego yesterday. And so, boom, we take off, everything good, get to the connecting flight. And so as I'm sitting there at the gate, well, before I say that, they moved me to seat 24B, and my flight gate that we arrived at was B24. You just can't make this stuff up, y'all. So immediately I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, 24. So for whoever needs this, the Lord is going to confirm for you however he speaks to you. This is the importantness of building your relationship with the Lord. The Lord speaks to me in numbers. So certain things he allows me to put together. So I was like, wow, 24. Here go Jesus, right? That's one of the cards we know that's in what is it? The preparation for the promise deck, I think it is. Yeah, preparation for the promise. And that actually means Jesus. These moves that are happening in your life are moves that the Lord is orchestrating. And that's what he's wanting to explain. Y'all, I feel like my lip done went down. Even said, did y'all come for my lip? Told y'all don't come for my lip. I don't know why I was swollen. It went back, but I can feel it kind of going down even as I'm giving this message, right? But anyway, so this is the importance of building your own relationship with the Lord and allowing him to speak to you, so you will understand the confirmations, the things that he's telling you to let you know. Because for some of you, you're going to make a move and then you're going to be like, Lord, did I do the right thing? Me. Yes, he's going to confirm. Yes. How did he confirm it? 117 that I saw after I posted James 1 and 17 at 4 a.m. this morning, or that morning. So understand that the Lord is trying to confirm for you each and every move that you make. He never stops speaking to you. He never stops letting you know that you're doing what you need to do. So that happened with that, because many of you, this is a crossover point. And so he started talking to me about that. But you're going to have to take message. You're going to have to take the first step in order for the other steps to be revealed. Now, where I'm headed, y'all, I don't have a clue. I still don't know. I don't know where I'm headed, but I will tell you this. When I tell you, when I got on that plane yesterday, I had no idea about anything. I had no idea about where I was going. I don't know what's coming next. I still don't know. But as y'all see, the Lord made a way for somewhere for me to stay. He put me somewhere where I'm safe. He put me in a position, even if I don't know what's coming next, y'all, he will always make sure that he takes care of you. And I had to pray, and this is why he's giving me permission to share this, because it's like for me in this journey, I'm not able to not share with y'all the progress that's happening. It's kind of like he's not telling me to leave y'all on a cliffhanger and just be like, wait, just see what happens. No, because this is a walk of faith. This is never knowing what the next thing is going to be. You don't know how long you're going to be at the next destination. You don't know what the next thing for you is going to be, but the Lord is always going to reveal the next step. For me, it came in the form of today with him saying, you need to get up and go to work. So I hope that makes sense for somebody. It's just going to be a lot of confirmations and synchronicities that are going to happen. But he's trying to encourage you that he's not, look, Jared just said he will never leave you nor forsake you. And sometimes you feel like God is not talking. But I tell you that I know for a fact that many of you are stepping into a season of prosperity. You're stepping into a season of promise. You literally are getting ready to step into all the things that the Lord has been telling you that he wants to give you. But you got to take the first step first. So I hope that makes sense to somebody. That was a lot. And man, okay, it's another part to this, but I can't reveal it yet. But there was a very specific way that the Lord let me know where he wanted me to go. I don't have a lot of cards, y'all, but these are the ones I can get access to, and I don't even think it's all of them. But let me pull this one before anything else. And I see Philippians 4 and 6. We hadn't used this deck in so long. The first card, let me just talk about this. This is the refining, y'all. This is Psalm 66:10-12. For you, God, tested us. You refined us like silver. You brought us into prison and laid burdens on our backs. Yet, wait, you let people ride over our heads, and we went through fire, but you brought us to a place of abundance. I'm telling you right now that for many of you, your refining season is over, because the Lord has done, you've done what he needed you to do. You made the right decisions, you made the right moves, you committed to him, you said, okay, Lord, I'm gonna do what you tell me to do. So for many of you, you're coming out of your refining season, but it's going to take steps, y'all. It's going to take things that you're going to have to do in order to really start to see the things that you want manifest in your life, right? And then Psalm 5:12 is under that. Surely, Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor as with a shield. There's so much protection that the Lord was talking to me about, even as I was on the flight, y'all. Just protected in what you're doing. And this is something that I've been praying a lot. Psalm 5:12 is just, like, Lord, surround me with your shield of favor. Everywhere I go, may your shield of favor go before me. So for many of you, this is understanding that you're divinely protected in whatever the Lord is choosing you to do. You just have to continue to be faithful and walk with him. Look, and this don't go in this deck, but I'm going to take it because the gifts is under here. And then this is 2 Corinthians 5:20. The gifts card is stuck in this deck. It don't go in here, y'all. All my cards are all messed up. But let me just say, can we just drop this in the chat? Gifted. Why? Because your gifts are making room for you. Your gifts that you are using in service to the Lord are what's getting ready to make you prosper in this next season. This is why y'all know we talk a lot over here about spiritual gifts and talents, and not just spiritual stuff, but this is your natural skills, talents, gifts, and abilities. Many of you, that thing that you've been doing, that thing that you've been working, that thing that you've been watering, that thing that you've been showing up and doing consistently, that's what's getting ready to make room for you. This says you are uncovering new talents balance that will land you new work and a better position. You could get more money with the deal as well. Side note, I want to say the Six of Pentacles came out in the message the other day. I'm not sure. It may have been Tuesday. I'm not sure. But for some of you, there may be some unexpected gifts that are coming in that are going to help you move into this new season as well. I feel like for some of you, the Lord is getting ready to have benefactors, because He pointed out the card benefactors for me, on the Six of Pentacles. He showed it to me yesterday, and I don't think I've gone back. I think I did. Did I go back and watch it, y'all? I think I watched some of the message the other day, but some of you, there's going to be some unexpected resources that are coming in. And this is all coming from God anyway, right? But you're getting ready to receive some gifts. And this is because you're using your gifts in service to the Lord. So just understanding, y'all, that there's unexpected favor that's coming into your life. When you're doing the thing that God has called you to do, He's going to bless it. Okay. And then we have a key. Come on, keys. We receive the keys. Let me get these cards. Y'all, when I tell y'all I just pieced some cards together today, don't be judging me. Today is a new key, so open a new door. Drop some keys in the chat, and don't be afraid to step through it. So for many of you, there could be new keys that are coming in. This could be keys of wisdom. This could be actual keys. I got the keys, the keys, the keys. I feel like some of you, you're actually finna feel like you're getting ready to shake back into your old self. Something the Lord told me yesterday, and I don't know where this scripture is at, but it's like houses you didn't build. He started talking to me about that. One of the things about being in the kingdom of God, y'all, is you receive things that you didn't necessarily pay for, keys and understanding, because God gives good gifts. Okay, He gives good gifts to His children. So for many of you, and I'm gonna say us because I receive it, you start being obedient to the Lord and stuff will just start showing up for you. So there are keys that are opening, there are keys that are moving, that the Lord is getting ready to put in your hand. This may even be just like teaching you how to operate. Look, I shuffled past it, but look, the opening at the bottom of the deck. Y'all know, look, come on, breakthrough, come on, higher forces. Now look, y'all, I ain't even shuffled these good, but I got to pull these because they here. He said, go back to shake back. So for some of you, you finally gonna feel like you shaking back to yourself. You finally gonna feel like you getting back to you. After your time of processing, refining, you're finally getting ready to feel like, oh my gosh, y'all remember the other day I was telling y'all, Jared said, let me look it up. Let me get my Bible, y'all. Hold on, because I want to look it up. Deuteronomy 6:10 through 12. Deuteronomy 6:10 through 12. And I went right to it, child. Come on, Lord. Then it shall come about when the Lord your God brings you into the land which He swore, solemnly promised. Come on, God, to give your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give you a land with great and splendid cities which you did not build, and houses full of all good things which you did not fill, and hewn or excavated cisterns, which are wells, which you did not dig out, and vineyards and olive trees which you did not plant, and you eat and are full and satisfied. I'm telling y'all right now, for many of you, it's gonna happen. And it's simply, but it's about that obedience. I'm gonna have to go. Of course, I need to, we'll eventually we'll get to Deuteronomy, but come on, 11:11, we receive it, y'all. So remember the other day I was telling y'all shadow jumped up and we were talking about this open door, but you don't have to step through it. Look at the key in the door. Two different decks, of course, but look at the key in the door. This is like understanding this door that you are stepping through, this opening. This is the first stage of something opening up and new possibilities, because you're willing to say, Lord, I trust you where you're leading me. I trust you with everything that's happening. Because you're willing to follow and do what He's asking you to do, you're going to get ready to have more opportunities. Like the things that have been holding you back and keeping you from really making progress. Which part? Why we got to talk about that? For some of y'all, I ain't gonna tell you no story. It may be some folks that was working real hard to try to keep you held down. whoever this is, I don't know, you'll know what it is. It's just like no matter what, you have continued to persevere. And because of that, you're also going to be blessed, y'all. So there are things that are opening up to you and aligning with you, aligning for you. New, look at the size of this door, y'all. Like this ain't even no little bitty door. This is like a door that is huge. So some of you might have like a huge opportunity that is coming, and it's a breakthrough that's happening as well. And then the higher forces card was the card that was under that as well. So the Lord is creating a breakthrough for you, escaping from what controlled you, the breakthrough to success and important development, and then communicating with other realms, help from higher dimensions, and divine protection. I'm telling you right now, like some of y'all, your spirit team is on, they own it. When I say own it, your angels, your spirit realms that the Lord has surrounding you, that He didn't put them to work. And He showed me this through a multitude of ways. But He was just like just understanding, like when I tell you that that Lord didn't put your team to work, because you're making the right decisions and you're being obedient and you're following the Lord's instructions. And this is what's bringing your breakthrough. Do you understand? Many of us, come on, God, many of us have been waiting for this breakthrough, y'all. We have been waiting for these opportunities. We've been waiting for these doors to open. And I told y'all the other day with the cancer message that I posted, there are doors that you are getting ready to step through that you didn't even knock on. These are doors that the Lord created, right? I don't know why I just saw the Transformers on here. These are doors that the Lord is opening for you. Many of you are getting ready to step into things that you didn't even ask for, but your obedience is what's bringing these things to you. You ain't going to have to go search, look, seek. You simply keep seeking the kingdom of God, keep seeking the Lord, and all these things will be added unto you. There are people who are being divinely guided into your life right now, whose mission and assignment it is to help you, because the Lord is telling them to help you. This is new people. Like you have new guardians that are coming. Come on, Lord, you have new guardians that are coming in to help and assist you as well. You have more help. Like the things that are coming in for you now are supernatural. Like this, there's nobody that is going to be able to take credit for what's happening in your life right now, y'all. Ain't nobody gonna be able to say, I did it. It's because of me. I showed them the way. Because look, listen at me now. On the cut, y'all. Helpful people. I'm telling you right now, because some of you've been having to do it. Look, the wheel of fortune up under that and the masculine, because some of you you've been doing it by yourself. So the Lord is sending destiny helpers. He's sending helpful people. Now, this doesn't necessarily always mean resources, y'all. This is maybe people who oh man, I just moved the card. It was the knowledge card that was on the other side of that. Some of you, this is just people who have knowledge that are going to be able to help you to advance in some way, with some gift or talent, with some business, with school, whatever it is that you're doing. Like the Lord is going to send the right resources. A lot of times we be thinking that it's just money, but this is so much bigger than money. Money is a byproduct of any blessing that the Lord gives. But for many of you, if that can be the missing step. What's an example I can use of this? If you ain't never started a business and you don't know about business. So then the Lord will send somebody in that can teach you about business, not to take over your business, but to teach you about business. Because if you don't know what you don't know, if you ain't never been on social media, then you need somebody to say, hey, you need to, here's some tips and some tricks. You go study, you know what I'm saying? So the Lord will send people in like that. But for some of you, yeah, y'all, my lip went down so much. Because what the Lord, I was finna cuss a word. You seen it in where I'm at. For some of you, it's like if you need help, the Lord will give you help. So just make sure that you're praying for help. And the Lord will send the right people at the right time. But for some of you, the Lord cannot send your help or your helpers until you made the necessary steps to go into the path of growth. Does that make sense? He can't send the help where you are. He has to send the help where you're going. So I hope that makes sense for somebody. Someone will be generous to you. People want and willing to help, accepting help from others. We talked about being willing to receive the other day. And for some of you, let me tell y'all how the Lord checked me in my spirits was yesterday. So I'm like, Lord, I don't know. I was like, I didn't have y'all. When I touched down, I had nowhere to stay yesterday. And I was like, Lord, how am I supposed to? And well, this was before. I think I was at the airport. I was at my connecting flight. Had like a 3.5 hour layover. And so I was like, Lord, where I'm supposed to stay? And I heard him clear as day say, ask. This is about pride for whoever this is. Listen, you gonna have to open your mouth. And I know, and I've talked about this in detail before, you're going to have to ask. Sometimes you got to put that pride to the side, because there are things the Lord is going to touch somebody's heart in order to help you. But you have to ask, and He's going to make it's just like we have to ask Jesus, right? We have to ask for knowledge, we have to ask for understanding. How do we ask? We ask in prayer. So you have to ask. And when you ask, He will give to you. You can't just sit there and be like, oh, well, He know what I need. So no, the Lord is going to tell you to open your mouth and ask for what you need. You need to be praying. And if He'll send you to a specific person to ask as well, y'all. So you have to pay attention to these things, because He'll set up the help, but you still have to be willing to ask for it. Had I not opened up my mouth, I wouldn't have a place where I'm staying right now. So please know that, a lot of times, and this was me for a long time, had this mentality of, well, the Lord knows what I need. Yeah, He does, but we still got to go ask for the things we need. So please open up your mouth if that's your message. This is not going in, and this is, and He's going to tell you who you're supposed to ask. But for some of you, in addition to that, He's sending in help you didn't ask for, right? Grandma used to say, closed mouth don't get fed, trying to told you. So you got to ask for things, and there are blessings that you will receive when you don't. Come on, and offerings, I'm telling you, there are things that you'll receive that you don't ask for, but then there are things that the Lord is just like, well, you just need to ask such and such. Like, ask them, right? Ask them, and He'll tell you. So you have something to offer, and offer a proposal to give and to receive. I'm trying to tell y'all, that literally says that on this card. Okay, so make sure that you're asking. Now, for some of you, there's some people who are getting ready to come in and offer you something. I don't know what they're going to be offering. And for some of you, what you mean blocked? I don't know. Somebody blocked out of a blessing, but anyway, that was their choice. That's the thing. Like, somebody finna get blocked out of something. But all of that to say, you finna get some help, and some of you might be receiving an unexpected proposal, some unexpected offer. What, like traveling? Some of you, you're gonna move, but you're not gonna be in one location. Like, you may be there for a set amount of time, but the Lord is actually, it's like you're gonna be on a journey to get somewhere else. I don't know who needs that. So, and it sucks, because sometimes the Lord will be having you moving around from place to place to place, but you may not be like stationary, is what He just said. And maybe that's something you've been asking the Lord, but you may have to make several moves before He puts you in a place where you're going to be stationary. Anyway, I don't know what else, Lord. Doubting, unsure about, oh, okay, unsure about something, lack of trust or confidence, the choice is unclear. One thing certain, two things for sure. If the Lord has told you, and this is me, right, y'all, I'm not that person that's going to sit here and tell you that you don't have all the answers. And sometimes you're going to be like, maybe I didn't make the right decision. Look, moving up on the bottom of this deck, sometimes you're going to have doubts and fears. And I told y'all, I think that if you don't have that, then something's wrong with you. I mean what I say. If you don't have some fear of making the right decision and making sure that you're in alignment with God's will, then I don't feel like you. I don't know how people don't, because I was up until the last minute like, Lord, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And then sure enough, He was sure. It was me that wasn't. So don't beat yourself up for doubting. I feel like sometimes people will be like, oh, you doubting, and that's what's stopping your blessing. And can I just tell somebody, no matter how scared, come on, God, no matter how scared I was at the moves that the Lord has been asking me to make, I told the Lord I was scared. He knew my fear. He knew that I didn't have a clue, but I just was stepping out and trusting on faith anyway. And do you understand that that didn't stop God from blessing me and getting me where He needed me to be? So for whoever this is for, you got to be careful. And this is something the Lord, He's been telling me this. He started telling me this last week. Stop letting people tell you that the Lord ain't gonna give you something because you doubt, because you know what I'm saying? Because that's a natural thing. Sometimes you got to be like, well, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it because I feel, because this what I know, this what God said. Be mindful of listening to folks that'll tell you that you're stopping your blessing because you're thinking this way, or but God's not going to give you something because you're scared of me. Don't be listening to that, because that is the devil, y'all. I'm telling you. If I was so terrified, and I told y'all that just day before yesterday, I was terrified, but I still did what God told me to do. God doesn't withhold blessings because we're unsure about the things that He's told us. And so you have to be mindful of listening to people who will tell you things like that, y'all. And that's some, because, and again, this is going to come back to, you have to be mindful who you're listening to, because people will have you scared to make a decision. Does this make sense to somebody? People will have you scared to do something because they will start putting it in your head that if you do that, then God, they will have you scared to move. So when you get scared to move, sometimes you don't move. Be mindful of allowing people to hear, to get in your head. Come on, 11:24, that's prayer. Pray and ask the Lord what it is that you need to do. But be mindful of people trying to tell you, oh, if you do this, 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 and this is what, like, and I hope I'm making that make sense, because there's certain, because I kid y'all not, y'all, people, I can't even, which part? Like, y'all, all I keep doing is showing up and doing what God has told me to do. You do the thing that God has told you to do, and everything else will be added unto you. I'm not doing anything spectacular. I'm not going all I'm doing is serving God, listening to God, praying, reading my Bible. And that, it doesn't stop me from having fear. It doesn't stop me from having doubt. It don't stop none of that. So be mindful of people telling you that if you don't do this, then God ain't gonna bless you. If you No, you just got to be committed and faithful to God in the path that He's giving you, and He will bless your path. No, He never said it wasn't gonna come without trials. And so this is also, because he kind of was talking to me yesterday just a little bit about, like, this is how you will know them, because I'm in Matthew 13 message, so it's like you will know them by their fruit. When people start telling you what God will and won't do, they don't have the ability to tell you what God will and won't do, because they're not God. The only way that you will know what God will do for you is if you trust God to do it for you. Does that make sense? Sometimes, and whenever the Lord gives me this message like this, He references Peter and Jesus, when Peter didn't even realize that he was saying something to Jesus that was going against Jesus's mission. Does that make sense? Be mindful, because the enemy is subtle, y'all. He's very subtle, and you can listen to people, and the enemy will influence them to plant a seed of doubt that will keep you from making a move. Imagine if because I see different things that people write, but imagine if I would have let those people and be like, well, no, you should stay a couple more days. No, don't move yet. Like, this is why you got to go with what God tells you above what any prophet, prophetess, bishop, pastor, preacher, I don't care. You have got to go with what God tells you and not what man tells you. Because I'm telling somebody, I don't know who this is for, but I'm telling you right now, if you trust in somebody else other than God to give you directions, that's how you're going to get messed up. We're here to encourage you to read the word, discuss the word, and build relationship with the Lord. You should be receiving your divine instructions, your blueprint, your assignments from the Lord. And then you should be coming to any person outside of God for confirmation, y'all. You should not be living your life based upon what any prophet tells you, what they say. No, because even a prophet can get it wrong. Anyway, I don't know who needs that, but be mindful, because for many of you, people can unintentionally, and because I'm not saying that they'll do it intentionally, but they'll sow a seed of doubt. Look, there's offerings 2 times. Somebody finna get something on the cut, y'all. Let me just show y'all before I'm getting ready to shuffle, and the offerings card 2 times. Somebody finna get something. Something is getting ready to be offered to you. Now, I don't know what it is. It could be 2 different things, and you're going to have to discern between the two. You will be offered a new position or investment opportunity. Think about it and research it carefully before accepting. Take it to God. Take it to the Lord. But I kid you not, you start following what God wants you to do. Start moving in the direction that God is telling you to move in. And all of a sudden, there are going to be things that are offered to you. Some of you, these blessings getting ready to start chasing you. Remember, we don't chase anything, we attract everything by our obedience, our faithfulness. So to understand that many of you are getting ready to start receiving offers. You're going to have lots of things on the table that are going to be coming towards you simply because of your obedience. This is going to be how you're going to know you've stepped into your fruitful season as well. Because for some of you, you may have been in that dry place where nothing was shaking, nothing working, and all of a sudden you're getting ready to start receiving more than what you prayed for, because that's the way the Lord works. So some of you, there's something that's coming in, and it's contracts telling you, look at the lion, the courage. For some of you, it's contracts with the rings being here. This is like long-term opportunities. Some of you are getting ready to step into something, and I don't know how long it's going to last, but maybe you were getting a lot of short-term things. This could be like work. Hey, Cherie, this could be like work or something like I'm seasonal. Maybe you've been doing a lot of seasonal work and the Lord's going to step you into something that's permanent, or you finally being offered a permanent position, something like that. Like some of you may be receiving that, that type of contract that you're going to be signing. The lion, the courage up under that, ask what you are afraid of so you can overcome what's holding you back. There are leadership opportunities for the taking. So many of you, come on, big Leo energy. For some of you, this is like you got to be bold and courageous, right? You're getting ready to step into something that's definitely in alignment. Contracts coming in. I don't know. Some of y'all might have two, and you just don't have to choose. Can't nobody choose but you, because it feels like both of them are going to be good. So you're gonna have to decide which one is going to be best for you. Come on, timing and the lock in. Drop it in the chat. Lock in. Um, yeah, child, this is beautiful. I feel like, come on, magic, voila, it's magic. I feel like some of you, it just feels like a shake back that's coming. I don't know how else to say it. It just feels like you finally can get back to feeling yourself, okay? Like feeling like yourself and the magic. Some of y'all have a magical opportunity that's coming in, but it's because of your obedience. Come on, power position. I just saw the crown, and I almost named this, y'all, crowns and thrones. I almost named this crowns and thrones, because some of you, this is that throne, like taking your rightful seat, your rightful position, and the Lord has had to maneuver you a little bit, right? Hey, Thandis. Hello, dearest one. The Lord has had to maneuver you. And so what's happening now, we just said this is like the positioning, right? Many of you have had to be positioned and moved around, but the Lord has you right now. He's moving you to exactly where he needs you to be. You are being promoted. Didn't I say promotion earlier? Like there's someone being demoted and somebody being promoted. And here's the promotion. You're being promoted or called to lead. Time to step into your sovereignty and guide others with compassion. So some of you, this new position, it's up. It's not a lateral move. This is like actually going up a level. So just be prepared for that, y'all, because you leveling up. Okay, what else? I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Influence. That's it. That's the last card. So some of you, the Lord is getting ready to make you more influential in whatever the job is that you are doing. Hey, Marisol, how you doing? There's one. Use your influence for change. You may do public speaking, social videos, or interviews. Your voice and opinions are important. As an example of this, it's like I was telling y'all earlier, when the Lord, like sometimes you don't have to make yourself get up and do it, because again, I feel like for many of you, the Lord is positioning you to go out. The example he gave of this was like, no matter where he sends me, I still got to show up and do this work. Even when I'm tired, even when I'm jet lagged, because I got some jet lag, um, I still got to show up and do the work. And so he showed me something in a vision today where it was like, imagine this being your job where you have you like, and I'll use ministry, because for some of you this may be ministry, because I have to give a practical example, I hope, to make it make sense. So some of you, it's like me, he gave me the understanding. He's like, okay, I'm gonna send you somewhere, give you a place to stay, and then you got to get up and do the work. You got to get up and go speak. You have to get up. You know what I'm saying? He was like, so are you going to be too tired to get up and go speak when you have and engagement. So remember the other day, we've been talking about living the life that you're praying and asking for, right? Um, Start living that life. So even for me today, it's just like, oh man, let me get up, let me prepare, let me get ready for the next speaking engagement, for me, the next show, right? Which is coming on here and doing these shows every day. Because for me, this is the next sermon, this is the next message that I need to give from the Lord. It's like you have to make this mindset shift that you're already doing the thing in the way that you want to do it. Does that make sense? So this is why when you show up, you got to be prepared, you got to be ready, you got to have, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot for me, and I'm grateful because a lot of what I do doesn't take a lot of preparation. It's simply me writing the things down that the Lord has given me and then receiving revelation as I'm giving y'all work. So I'm grateful. I don't have a whole lot of prep work, but there's some things that like I have to prepare by reading the Bible and things like that. So for whoever this is for, and you may not be at a point where the Lord is like sending you out yet, but you have to start preparing. And whatever that thing is that you're doing, He wants you to start living and working that thing like you're already doing it. Does that make sense? If you want to be a public speaker, then anytime you have an opportunity to speak, you need to speak like you would speak if you were speaking. A lot of times I'd be in here talking to spirit now and acting like it's a whole audience. So, or you know what I'm saying? But what I do is very informal. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I can just show up and be who I am. But whatever it is that you do, start doing it with the dream and the vision of it being the thing that God, that's how you manifest, right? That's how you start making your dreams become reality, because you start actually doing the thing, living the life, having the thing before you actually see it. And then when you do that, the Lord will start aligning you with the people, the opportunities, the resources, the connections, whatever it is that you need. He can then start aligning the things that are necessary to get you to that point. Does that make sense? I'll you like there's so many I'm getting a lot of examples. Like, yeah, they're giving me a lot of examples of things. It's like if you want a new car, if you have a car now, then make sure you're taking care of the car that you have now. So just different things like that. When you start actually walking, you have to start walking in purpose, and then the purpose will meet you. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, some of you are getting ready to have more influence. You may actually, and I've been getting this a lot for somebody. I don't know who this is for, but you may be called to do some kind of public speaking or interviews or something like that. There may be an opportunity for somebody to do something in the public. The Lord been giving me that quite a bit with this microphone. So this is like having a bigger reach, a bigger impact as well. A more powerful position. So some of you might have there we go, have an opportunity to influence. We've been talking about it. I, which part? Because I'm getting ready to start studying it. I think I'm in Genesis 14, and yesterday. Let me show y'all. Nope, it's in my Bible Clarity Journal. The Lord told me something yesterday about kings. So we're going to keep talking about it because someone's getting ready to have an opportunity to sit in front of some pretty important people. This may be like, and maybe that's what you're, you know what I'm saying, what you're aspiring to. Like, I don't know, it's part of your assignment. So you're going to have an opportunity to sit in front of some pretty important people. For some of you, that's who's going to help, like, open. This is the door that's opening up, but the Lord had to prepare you to be able to sit in these types of environments. Yes, it is a true story, like your name and you being mentioned in rooms that your feet ain't touched yet. Many of you, that is actually happening. Just keep in mind that you never know who's watching. Okay, you never know who sees you, you never know who's looking. So just do your best, but don't feel like you got to change up and switch up and be somebody different. Don't be who you are, right? Because being who you are is what's going to open up these new doors and bring these new connections in. Maybe some of you, that's gonna be a breakthrough for some of you as well. So the Lord getting ready to bless somebody. Just know that it's coming. It's happening. Okay, that's it. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Um, That's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. I don't know what I have. Hopefully, I don't know what I have for the rest of the day, but I'm gonna try to get myself together. So, Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, thank you so much for the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscribes, the love, the energy. I'm so truly grateful. Thank you for each and every person who has blessed me and poured into me. I'm so truly grateful. Thank y'all for that. You have no idea. And as the story continues to unfold, I will share with y'all some other details that I can't reveal just yet. But there's some stuff that's happening. Someone, which part? Somebody is looking at your courage. I don't know who that's for. The courage. They just showed me this lion in this card again. There are people like, oh, that's why I was talking about. So you never know who's watching. Some of you, there's someone who's looking at you and don't even realize that you're inspiring people because you are taking necessary steps, because you're doing things that most people will not, and allowing yourself to be seen of, like allowing, like you're allowing people to see you make these moves. And I receive that because it's not easy for people to see your life in shambles, right? It's not easy to share those types of things with people, but just know that. Last night I was in the room with Freeway and the cast of Wildin' Out. Come on, Wildin' Out. So yeah, and there's an example, as Cherie just said, the cast of Wildin' Out. So God is good. Like He will put you exactly where you need to be, make the right connections. He will put you exactly where you need to be for what He has destined for you. So just be prepared for that, y'all. Be prepared for that, and just keep showing up. And sometimes it's hard, and sometimes it's just like, man, but just keep showing up, keep doing the work that God has asked you to do, and He's gonna make everything else open up for you that's necessary. And yes, some of you, it's opportunities coming in. Just wait on it. Just wait on it. It's almost which I mean, it's almost like for some of you, somebody not cataloging, somebody cataloging, they're watching along to see. It's almost like some of y'all have an audience. Anyway, some of y'all have an audience. It's like people, and this ain't necessary. I mean, I guess it's all kinds of people, but you have an audience. Like people are watching to see the moves that you're going to make. Just keep moving with God, right? Just keep moving with God. Because, and I don't mean this in like a negative way. I mean this in you know, a way that people are inspired. People are inspired by you, right? They're inspired by the moves that you're making. They're inspired by, the courage that you have. So, for those people who've been rocking with me, I expect y'all to be blessed, right? And I don't know, like Cherie just shared what happened for her being with the cast a while now and kind of in her element. And so I expect people over here to be blessed. Just like why wouldn't you be blessed, right? Why wouldn't you be blessed? And why, drop that in the chat? Why wouldn't I be blessed? Message. Why wouldn't you be blessed? Because you should be expecting blessings from the Lord. So yes, congratulations as you step into what you using your gifts, right? Using your gifts and your talents and what is meant for you. And I also want to say this. Don't feel like you need anybody to help you get there. And be mindful, y'all. Be mindful, because sometimes that can be the thing that holds us back, is because you think that you need other people to help you get to your next level of greatness, but God has already prepared your next level of greatness. And don't think that, and also remember this, there are people who are going to be great and you may think that they will help you, right? That you may think that they're gonna, but don't think that just because somebody, that's their blessing, right? That's their blessing. So come on, beginning, look at the egg. So it's all about understanding that the Lord is going to align your opportunities at the time that you need them. So just be good with that. You're going to get there the way that the Lord needs to get you there, and you're going to receive what it is that you're going to receive. Come on, believe in the magic, okay? Because God is real. So anyway, great amazing things, y'all. Great things are happening. That's all I got. That's all I got. Right. Of being on my own last night, I'm stronger. Yeah, absolutely. So just keep moving forward, and God's going to do the rest. You just keep taking the steps, and God will do the rest. Um, that's all I got. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, hydrate your soul in things, drink your water, say your gratitude. Y'all, between my lip and my jet lag, OMG. OMG. It's gonna be a good day though. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good day. I got to do some moving around and so kind of just see what I'm able to do. So Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Side note, um, the time might be changing, not completely sure yet, but I might be changing the time, y'all. So So just turn your notifications on so you're notified anytime I go live or post a video. I like to sow my seed in the morning, like, because that's what the Lord tells us to do. But I might shift it up just a little bit. So I'm going to see how I feel about that. And it might be some other stuff coming as well. The Lord kind of been talking to me about doing a message in the evening. And I don't know if I'm going to do that every day, but there may be something that's coming in the evening as well. But he told me that the other day, but when I was in the Airbnb. So I'm not completely sure yet. So just stay tuned for that. There may be some switch ups that's happening because it'd be a lot of stuff. And I'll be I'll be recording videos all day. And it's just so much easier to just pop on and do a quick live and then keep it moving than trying to post videos and stuff. So just there may be some additional stuff that's coming out because I've even forgot stuff, but just stay tuned. So I don't know exactly yet, but I'll keep y'all posted. That's all I got. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all go be great and amazing, do great and amazing things. I will see y'all in the morning. I am, again, consecrated. I'm in the word today. I got to go get in the word. Come on, 11:43. I got to go get in the word and spend some time with the Lord today because I didn't get enough time to really be in the Bible yesterday because I was moving around so much. And so I know I'm going to be doing Bible study today to the best of my ability and then see what happens from there until the Lord moves me to my next location. So I will see y'all in the morning. I will see y'all in the morning. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, dearest one. You're welcome, dear.